about the impact of former military, former police officers on the growth of white supremacy in some of these groups. So he's blaming the military and law enforcement for white supremacy, which, of course, is the devil, right? Now, no word about Antifa and those people.
No.
Well, because military and white supremacy are totally interrelated somehow.
Exactly. Now, here's one of my favorite lines that come out of Biden. And you know what? I think someday there'll be a book published of Bidenisms, okay? So
Yeah.
he goes, this is Biden talking. He says, I got involved in politics to begin with because of civil rights and the opposition to white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan. The Democrats started the Ku Klux Klan. What? So was he a Republican? I don't know.
Well, and as I pointed out to you during dinner, Kamala Harris, during the primary, one of the debates, she actually attacked him because back in the day, he was against busing black students over
Right.
to white schools, and she had benefited from that and as a child. And so, he's getting it from both sides. He's saying that he was against the Ku Klux Klan, but he was also against busing.
So when he says he got into politics because of, race or whatever, I mean, does he in favor of it or not in favor of it? He's kind of going both ways there.
Yeah, it's very unclear.
I think Biden does go both ways. All you got to do is look at pictures of him with little girls and little boys.
Well,
Well, mostly little girls, though.
I'm thinking, now I'm
Little girls and married women.
with their husband watching. I'm spitballing this, and maybe I've got no grounds to say this, but is it possible that Biden is actually the reincarnation of Michael Jackson?
I'm going to go with no.
No?
yeah.
Because they're
I mean,
following.
it would seem like it could be, but I still have to go with no.
If we get a satellite shot of Biden's house and there's a Ferris wheel out front, I'm going to stick to that story.
Well,
I'm just
Well,
gonna stick to
at
it.
one point they coexisted, so I don't think that is an option. I don't think reincarnation works that way.
That
One
would
could be a
my only
puppet.
reason.
One.
I don't
could be a
personally
puppet.
believe in reincarnation, but I don't think it supposedly works that
Now,
way.
if you asked if he went to the Michael Jackson school for
Now that
weirdos, I would say very
that's
possible.
possible. Yes, that is possible. He probably took a master class.
Master what? Master what? Yes, exactly.
Hey, Dave, what
Yeah.
year do you suppose Joe Biden was born?
I would guess probably 50. No, he's
No,
older than I am. He's
like
older than I am.
44.
So probably about
something?
44.
Okay,
45.
Michael Jackson was born in 1958. So in order for Joe Biden to have been in the reincarnation of Michael Jackson, time would have had to go
Right.
all the way
That's-
to the end and then back around.
that's
to the
what I
beginning.
was saying.
But it's a wormhole, George.
That's what
and
I
if-
was
and if
saying.
anybody-
Oh, well, that's different.
And if anybody qualifies as a whole, it will be Joe Biden.
Fair enough.
So, I'm just saying. But, every time I think of Michael Jackson, I think of the interview. Was that Barbara Wawa? I think it was that did that.
Yeah, I think so.
And he says, you just see it as dirty, but we would be in bed and
but it's really sweet.
we'd have warm milk and cookies, and I read him stories. It's very sweet, and I'm going,
Yeah, exactly.
I had to go and take a shower. That even aired. It's like
I love how this article, this is from the Western Journal, this article even accurately records his gaffes, which is unusual. I wonder if they're a right-leaning media outlet, because the interviewer says, what can your administration do to address this complex and wide-ranging problem? And his response is, it is complex, it's wide-ranging, and it's real. And then later he says, and these guys are in fact demented. He has to literally contradict himself to get it right.
it's crazy. You're listening on Target Radio. This is AM560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. You can weigh in on how much you like Michael Jackson, how much he's like Joe Biden. The only thing is, Michael Jackson at least didn't do it on camera in front of millions of people
true,
watching.
yeah. We didn't have video evidence.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. We
He
just
was a little
yeah,
bit
that's right.
smarter. Yeah.
Not a lot, but
Well,
a
no,
little
but
bit.
right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if Michael had lived to Joe Biden's age, he would have gotten around to that.
Oh, maybe.
And actually, I
Was
don't
in the
know how much
plan.
you're joking, but you know what?
About 50%.
He's been getting away with that for so long that he literally
Right.
I honestly don't think that he sees what he's doing is wrong at this point. He's been doing it.
Well, he's dead now.
Someone
This
No,
true
I'm
story.
talking about
Oh, you're
Joe
talking
Biden.
about
Biden, yeah.
I'm talking about Joe
yeah.
Biden.
Well, that may be. Yeah.
Someone had to have told him at some point, like, "Hey, this you might want to
This
kind of
doesn't
knock
look
it
so
off."
good,
right?
yeah.
I'm sure, but obviously he
I-
didn't.
I don't know.
He knocked a few of them off. I understand, but
he
you know.
apparently he's hard to control. But this was the article we didn't get to last week by Alicia Preston, and she doesn't sound like she's really a Democrat. Maybe
seems fairly neutral. I would
yeah,
say,
maybe like slightly leaning Republican, but and I corrected the number. So when she wrote this, he had signed 30 executive orders. Now he's up to 34.
Oh, because it says
so-
32 on you, so it's more than when
Right.
you corrected it.
So
even.
last week, last Sunday.
last Sunday was
last
a 32
Sunday it was
correction.
32, and now this Sunday it's 34.
So it was written, it was 32. Then last week it was 30. Then last week it was
Right.
32. Now it's 34. So we're averaging 2 a week.
well, and you
Well,
remember
it slowed down.
Biden is the guy that in the first week of Trump's presidency
yeah.
got on him about abuse of executive privilege because Trump in the first week did like 4 executive orders, I think
I
it
don't
was.
remember.
And,
yeah.
and he's like did far more than those.
Oh, and then they went and they ran on transparency and openness. And,
Right. Yeah.
well, we're going to sign 3 executive orders and kick everybody out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
great. Thanks. Not even tell you what's in them.
it's you
Yeah.
know just-
She even raises the question: how do you put increased wages in a bill that provides stimulus money to struggling small businesses that are paying the wages?
maybe
And you said you thought they took that out.
I did. I thought they did, but I don't know how old is this.
Well, this is from the 21st.
Yeah, 21st.
So this is
Maybe
this is a
they
week
didn't.
old. Yeah.
But you just look at it. I mean, killing the Keystone Pipeline was a big deal.
That's a huge. But
Not only a big deal because of all the employment, but about the amount of oil that would be brought down.
Right. Yeah. Well, and also if you look at safety, I mean, it's safer to transport oil with a pipeline than it is with trains or
Or
trucks
or anything else.
Oh,
right.
by
Exactly.
far.
Yeah.
It's a much you're much less likely to have an environmental disaster if you're using a pipeline, and so the Democrats should be for it.
Well, if you listen to them, it only killed, a couple hundred jobs, and there wasn't really anything going on
Yeah,
with
it was
it.
It was like
getting
60,000
canceled.
jobs
Yeah.
or something like
No
that.
big deal. Not to mention, contractors, subcontractors, suppliers.
Right. Right. Down the line.
We don't care about that. We'll just add that to the unemployment number. They'll get government benefits. They'll vote Democrat next year. Everybody's happy.
Exactly. And you're right. I mean, whenever you transport something like petroleum, there's always that threat.
Oh yeah.
But I've told you
Bad
that
things
for a while. I flew pipeline when I was in college, and when they took me out on the initial run to follow, this is where you go. I said, "How do you know if there's a leak?" And the guy looks at me like I just dropped off the moon, and he goes, "Well, it's not too difficult. There'll be a big black circle with a bunch of dead animals laying in it." I go, "Okay, I can see.
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I'll find that." Yeah, but.
Well,
But it's
she,
better than an oil spill with a truck in the middle of a city somewhere.
Right, exactly. Or like in Plainfield, we had a derailment, a train
right.
derailment, and they spilled some.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think it was petrol or some sort of a hazardous material, and they had to like dig up all the dirt that it got spilled on.
Well, and the other thing that they talk about in this is just out of the box, he comes out with gun control. Wants to, background checks on everything, ban assault weapons, high-capacity magazines,
Removing immunity from gun
The whole bit.
manufacturers.
Huge
Yeah.
surprise.
So,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
all the stuff they've been talking about for years.
Oh,
yeah. Well, anyway, we're going to have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the First Amendment
We are.
while we can still talk about it.
It's in trouble.
Exactly. We're in trouble. So all that more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560.
The answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Since I fancy myself a bit of a relationship expert, I thought maybe we should check in on people's marriages during COVID. 34% of Americans say the pandemic has increased stress in their marriage. I just wonder how people's marriages are.
If you are married, how are you making it work? And you turn around and look at your partner, you're like, ooh, I didn't sign up for that.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM560 The Answer.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM560 On Target radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan all year long that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, and if you're 50 years old and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. The least expensive ACA PPO health insurance plan is $540 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $8,550 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium down to $273 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $6,050 in total out-of-pocket costs per person with my lower deductible, and you save $267 per month with my lower premiums. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I have a lot more energy, that's for sure. That's probably the most noticeable thing. I'm not tired. There's been many times when I should have been sick and never was. I think our bodies have the ability to rebuild themselves and repair themselves. All we have to do is give it the right fuel. That's what you guys do. You give me the right fuel that I need, and I believe that my body will just take care of itself. Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code Chicago.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
I want to do a shout out, and I hate saying that. I've always hated. I want to do a shout out to your mother.
So smarmy.
I want to do that to your mother because you and her bought me everything I needed.
You and she.
No, it was you and her. Bought me everything I needed to make your mother's caramel corn.
Yes.
And I did my first batch.
Although you got it wrong on Facebook, it wasn't your birthday. I mean, it wasn't Christmas. It was your birthday.
And you also wouldn't say her did something, so it is she.
Right.
Just saying.
Could you just stick with the message instead of
the headphones?
What are you
Sorry, the grammar Nazis are out to play tonight.
we got like 3 Marshall McLuhans in here. Okay, the message is what I'm after, not the media. Okay, could we just go with that? I'm trying to be nice to your mother, and you're giving me grief.
Sorry,
Kim. I tried to be nice to you. They won't let me. Okay, that's the way it is. But thanks anyway. I made my first batch of caramel corn. Me as in myself, not as in the thing that's in your head that looks out. And I want to clarify so there's no, So Alan is sitting here looking at me like, what the is going on? The caramel corn came out good, really good. Wasn't evenly coated though.
yes. I was going to tell her that she needs to give you a better idea of like how much unpopped corn should you start with.
I clearly did too much.
Yeah.
I had to make
And
two
then you
batches.
had you had
Yeah.
to like go back
I had to
and
catch up. Yeah, yeah.
fix it.
But it tastes wonderful. It tastes just like hers does. So I appreciate it. I just wanted to, it wasn't going to be a 5-minute thing. It was just going to be something quick, and grammar Nazi here takes over and we lose it.
If
Yeah.
you had said it correctly the first time, it wouldn't have been 5 minutes.
It was egregious, so I had to.
You know, here's the thing. There are solo radio shows. I mean, you all do know that, right? I mean, it's John Anthony gets away with it.
I'm good with that. If that's why you want to run it, I mean,
I could be watching the Golden Globes right now.
I'll
And
draw
you see
my
what I'm saving
unemployment
you
and vote
from?
Democrat. I mean,
I was telling somebody that I haven't seen an award show, like maybe one award show the entire time I've been on this show.
TiVo.
I would
Is that still
suggest
around?
I
to
have
you,
to pay for that.
I would suggest to you that you're ahead of the game if that's the case.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch any of that stuff. That brainwashing
Come
stuff.
on, you guys. I love fashion.
You're gonna watch it, and then you're gonna want a COVID vaccine after you watch it somehow.
No, I'm
Just
not that
watch.
susceptible. I'm not that easily influenced.
You're right. You're not.
I just
That's
like
true.
I just like the fashion.
Speaking of COVID, did we call that or not about you're going to have papers?
Oh, yeah, we totally.
Oh yeah.
We knew.
I mean, we were talking about that
We already
a long
well,
time ago.
The Chinese had already done it, so that wasn't really. It wasn't
Yeah.
like we made that up. I mean, it wasn't like we're freaking geniuses because
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought of that. Like it was already happening.
We already have a plan about what to do.
I would have
about
stuck
it,
with
too.
it. We're freaking geniuses. Really, I would have. I'd just let it rest at that. But here, I mean, and this is what we said back quite a while ago, and I'm just watch. This is what's going to happen now. You won't be able to get on an airplane without that stupid certificate. You're not going to be able to get on public transportation of any type. You're not going to be able to go into restaurants, so they're going to squeeze you, which makes me wonder what's in it.
Right.
Why are they so hell-bent
Thank you.
for everybody to take that?
I have the same concerns.
There's something going on, and anything that Bill Gates is involved in,
I know. I don't want it.
yeah, I don't
So
want it.
anyway, back to the First Amendment because
Well, that is First
definitely-
Amendment.
We want to talk about this though. So Amazon, apparently, this news website or something called Just the News reached out to Amazon, and what this Just the News said was a review of these policies suggests that sometime in the last few months, Amazon made a major change to the way in which it moderates book content on its servers, imposing a much stricter standard on books than it had previously done. So they took down a popular documentary off of Amazon Prime videos about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. So they stopped streaming that show, and they also, these are just examples, by the way, they also deplatformed conservative Ryan Anderson's book of critical gender theory, When Harry Became Sally. So these are just two examples, and they, they just said they referred to a section labeled offensive content. Amazon states they don't sell certain content, including content that we determine is hate speech, promotes abuse or sexual exploitation of children, pornography, glorifies rape or pedophilia, advocates terrorism, or other material we deem inappropriate or offensive. So it's just really wide open of whoever's working that day, whoever lays eyes on whatever the material is, they get to decide whether it's offensive or inappropriate or hate speech.
Well, and, they've already come out and said, somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody in his administration floated the concept, and I think it just dropped off a cliff, but floated the concept that if the government says something, like you need shots, you need these shots, and you publicly say that's false science, that it would be against the law.
Right.
Somebody in the administration actually floated that.
They want to reprogram us.
Yeah, they actually floated that. You're listening to Untitled Radio. It's AM560 The Answer. Give us a call. Give us a call. You always wait till the last segment, and then you get the phones light up, and then people get angry. We get hate mail. We get death threats. You didn't take my call. Okay,
Actually,
I'm exaggerating.
They haven't been waiting till the last segment lately, so be nice.
But the other thing, so a couple of people pointed out, Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire and Abigail Schreier, who is another author and critic, they both are saying, listen, if Amazon decides to label conservative books as hate speech, that's effectively the end of conservative books.
Absolutely.
You know, he says it very concisely. She goes on and on, but he says publishers won't bother publishing books that can't be sold on Amazon. You know, he says, I don't think that it's getting all the attention it deserves. And she basically says the same thing. We're really not making a big enough deal of the fact that Amazon has begun deleting books. They now claim the right to, you know, ban any book that they consider inappropriate or offensive. And she says, of course, nearly every book worth reading could be characterized as inappropriate or offensive to someone.
And that's true, you know.
You know, she says books that surprise and inform and challenge us to see things differently are usually offensive to someone. But she points out that Amazon controls over 83% of the market for books.
Well, and that's how
83%?
That's what she says.
I believe it, because that's how they started out. Before they had the retail portion, they were the America's and are probably now the world's largest bookseller.
Yeah, that's what they claim.
They started out as a bookseller.
Yeah, and you know, she says, why would a publisher take a chance on a book that Amazon won't carry? It won't.
Well, and that's a good point. I mean, my publisher, McGraw-Hill, was like the top of the hill, so to speak. He's the top of the heap. They were like one of the preeminent publishers 20 years ago, and now, I mean,
where do you go if you want a book now? I mean, there are some Barnes and Noble left around, but Borders is gone, and I mean, other than like, you know, some of the retail stores, which don't
mass
carry
merchandisers,
a very large selection at all. I mean, Amazon or I don't know.
I like buying books. I like buying used books. So, you know, there's, you know, I do a lot of that, especially, either in person or online. But there's not, I mean, there's some discount booksellers around.
Well, and Amazon's a great place to buy used books online, too.
Bookstores used to be places that you went and spent half a day in.
Right.
I've told you.
Wander.
Oh, and I could.
When I published when my first book was published, I went to Crocs and Brentano's, which most people probably don't remember it now. But it was like the bookstore in Chicago, because they had a Chicago section. And I went in there with book in hand, and I was going to, you know, demand that they put my book up on that pile. And when I walked in, it was on top of the stack. It was already on top of the stack. I had arrived. Crocs and Brentano's had my book. You know, that's gone. People don't spend half a day. Well, you know what? People don't read anymore either. Young people.
Well, people do read, but
I think COVID probably put a really big dent in that too, and that's the other scary part, because now, if COVID put a big dent in people going to, like, you know, Barnes and Noble, Amazon's kind of it now.
Well, it's true. I mean, like I said, I do like to, you know, buy. There used to be a website called half.com, which was it was kind of like it was kind of like Marketplace, Amazon Marketplace, where you set your price, but it was all, you know, mass produced stuff. It was books, video games, DVDs, and CDs. And eBay bought them, and then eventually they shut it down. So, you know, you can still buy stuff off of eBay.
Okay, well, there's eBay, so I wonder if they're going to do the same thing eventually.
We're going to take a break. George, Eddie Schwartz. That's whose picture's on the wall. Eddie Schwartz. We're going to return with more on Talker Radio. When we return, we've got two phone callers. We got Peggy and Teresa. We'll pick them up, and they want to talk about vaccines. So we're going to do that and more when we return with On Talker Radio. And you're listening to AM560. The Answer.
Tickets for our next event, Biden, the first 100 days, presented by healthinsurancementors.com, have sold quickly, but overflow tickets are still available. Join AM560's Sebastian Gorka, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Steve Cortez, and Sean Thompson on March 20th in Lake Geneva for an evening of dinner and discussion about what to expect from the Biden administration and how to stop it. Tickets on sale now at 560theanswer.com/Biden. Sponsored in part by Dixon Companies.
News, I'm Sal Giangrasso. Nearly 4 million doses of Johnson & Johnson's new COVID-19 vaccine will be shipped tonight and will begin to be delivered to states for injection starting on Tuesday. Donald Trump front and center Sunday afternoon at the CPAC convention in Orlando, Florida.
The former president said he is not forming a new political party. The 45th president also criticized the Biden administration for being, quote, anti-jobs, anti-energy, and anti-family.
As Fox's John Scott, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo acknowledges for the first time that some of his behavior with women had been misinterpreted as unwanted flirtation. He insists he never inappropriately touched or propositioned anyone, but now understands that some of his interactions had been insensitive or too personal. And Cuomo says he will cooperate with a sexual harassment investigation led by New York's Attorney General. America is listening to Fox News.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Please allow me to introduce you to Salem Surround Chicago. This is where we call home, and this is where we help businesses like yours succeed with digital marketing. Yes, a digital marketing agency right here in Chicago that helps you use the latest digital technology to stay in touch with current customers and reach new potential customers. Now, don't let the words digital marketing and digital advertising scare you. You may have heard some of the terminology and couldn't make heads or tails of it. That's why Salem Surround Chicago is here, with a local person you can talk to about the tools your business needs to know about and use to succeed in today's crazy marketplace. Let us show you how cost-efficient digital advertising can be and design a plan that targets and surrounds customers with proven marketing strategies. Contact Salem Surround Chicago at surroundchicago.com for a free evaluation of your marketing plan and to explore the digital marketing landscape. We're right here in Chicago and ready to talk about getting your business to the next level. surroundchicago.com.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. That's right, designed to heal, and now I agree. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor for Pete and Seth selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. That's correct. Each of the 4 ingredients deal with inflammation on a different metabolic pathway. That right there, approaching your pain from 4 different angles, may very well be why so many Americans find such wonderful pain relief. If you have back pain, shoulder, neck, hip, knee, or foot pain from exercise or even just getting older, you must order the 3-week quick start now. Discounted to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. I think it could. Give your body what it needs to heal itself. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-500-8384, relieffactor.com.
Not comfortable exercising at crowded fitness centers or health clubs, but also realize trying to work out at home isn't working. Or maybe your current program is just not giving you the results you desire. Whatever your situation, Strong Life Personal Training in Barrington is your solution. They feature an immaculately clean, totally private, non-crowded workout environment with just 1 expert personal trainer and 1 client per time period. It's like having your own private gym. Now more than ever, it's important to take care of our bodies, be strong, healthy, and build a great immune system. Strong Life Personal Training will help you achieve all this with just 2 30-minute sessions per week. Call their Barrington facility now at 630-862-5176 to schedule a free program consultation and trial session. That's 630-862-5176. Or visit them online at stronglifetraining.com. That's stronglifetraining.com. Your body will thank you for it.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560 The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Note to self, if you want to get the phones to ring, bring up the COVID virus inoculation. Okay? So we got a couple of people on the phone. Peggy's on the phone. How you doing this evening, Peggy?
Hi. I just want to tell you something that I heard, and I'm going to have to call you back with the details on it, but it's actually, they have to do this. They haven't tested this vaccine for, if they make a vaccine out of this and they haven't tested for it, you'll look like you're okay, and then it'll kill you. It's poisonous.
Oh, that worked out well.
And so it's like, oh, that's nice. You know, if I'm going to die, my priorities are going to change. Because, you know, I mean, I'm not going to be really concerned with stuff here. If I can do anything to, you know, change the society, I will. By the way, Ohio is free. Ohio has no masks. They have no lockdown. They're free.
Really, as of when?
They did it because they treated like we were a communist country, okay? And they went word of mouth, okay? And it's like groups of 10, you know, you have an underground, but you have a huge number of people. And their governor was open to it because they said, if you don't open up the state, you haven't got a job. He said, okay, you convinced me. And Ohio is free. Now, Illinois is enslaved, okay? I know that. But the thing is, and a lot of other states are enslaved, but the thing is, if one state can be free, all of them can be free.
Well, I don't remember who said it. It might have been Gretchen, but I don't remember who said
Gretchen,
it.
Yeah.
And basically, somebody said, at what point are the people just going to say, we're done?
I've said since the beginning that we're going to be wearing masks until we stop wearing masks.
Well, and
it's
you're
true.
right. Yeah,
a year later, over a year later, we're still wearing masks.
By a disease that's 5%?
I think it's over 95.
Not
It's
even.
close
yeah.
to 98.
Yeah. It's like 98.
We also...
I almost brought in an article tonight of like, when will life get back to normal? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to put that out there.
Well, because they keep saying different things. Now it's, you know, a year from now. Now it's by June.
No. Yeah, they're and now they're saying like, oh well, we don't want true herd immunity. We just want people to get vaccinated.
Oh,
we
and
want like 70% vaccination.
Well, speaking of which, Teresa has a comment about the vaccination. Teresa, how you doing?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm well. I hope you guys are doing well too.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say, first of all, I agree with you completely. Until we stop it, it's not going to stop. Take off the masks, or it's going to keep going. It's just that simple. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I wanted to let you know, too, that I had COVID, and I was in the hospital for 12 days. I was not on a vent, but I was on oxygen. I got it in February of 2020, and it started with a sore throat, and then all the symptoms came, every one of them. And the last thing that hit me was the trouble breathing. And that's when I figured, well, you know, this is not a flu, this is not a cold, there's something that I need to go see the doctor because I'm having trouble breathing and I could have pneumonia. So that's when I went to see my doctor, and that's when I was diagnosed, and my oxygen levels were way down, and so they put me in the hospital on oxygen for 10 days, and they observed me for 2 more days, and I was released. And then I, for a couple of months after, well, more than that, I think more like 4 months after, I still had residual things going on where trouble breathing, you know, dizziness, brain fog, all of it. And, you know, to this day, I have a little bit of it, but, you know, the masks are not helping me because when I put the masks on, I get dizzy, I can't breathe, and I have to pull them down so that I can breathe. I get a headache. You know, I can't keep these things on.
Well, I can
Go ahead.
sympathize with it. My sister died of it a year ago. Well, next month, March. She died of it. I don't think any of us disagree that the disease exists and that it's not a good thing. I think the concern has been the structure that they've put around it. You know, it changes. It's like a moving target.
And that's exactly what it is. It's that structure. And I think the funny thing is, and I have a theory behind this, so you have to wear a mask, right? And back when masks they were kind of scarce and they were $1 each, and now the CDC says, oh, well, now you have to wear 3 masks because 3 masks is the magic number. You know why you have to wear 3 masks? Because when masks first came out, they were $1 at Menards. Now they're 33 cents. They're not getting the same number of cost per person on it. Triple them up. Now we're back at our $1.
When I was in Tennessee, driving down to Florida, a woman who worked at the hotel said you have to have a mask on. I said, you understand that the weave in that mask is enormous compared to the size of a virus. It's like trying to stop a BB with a tennis racket. It doesn't work. She goes, that's why you wear two. That it lines up and it blocks them. And I looked at her and I go, it's hopeless. There's nothing I'm going to say to this woman that's going to dissuade her
She's
from
made
that.
up her mind.
Yeah.
The best thing I saw was, wearing a mask is like having a peeing section in the pool.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I refuse to waste my breath or my effort on stupid people.
Yeah. Really. We talked about it in the car tonight. I mean, and you know how I was. I was just striding about it. And now I'm like, it's not worth the energy.
Yeah.
You know what?
I got a story about that when we return.
When we come back, we're going to have that story and more when we return with On Target Radio. Is that a good segue? It's just built right in. He gave it to me. Handed it to me. But we'll be back with more On Target Radio after these messages. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan all year long that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, and if you're 50 years old and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. The least expensive ACA PPO health insurance plan is $540 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $8,550 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium down to $273 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $6,050 in total out-of-pocket cost per person with my lower deductible, and you save $267 per month with my lower premiums. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
So I found this fairly lengthy article from the Pew Charitable Trust, which doesn't seem quite as neutral in bias as Pew Research, but it was about 5 pages long. Basically, they're saying there are lawmakers in at least 23 states that have proposed banning employers from requiring workers to get vaccinated against COVID vaccine or other infectious diseases. One example is our neighbor, Indiana, Republican State Senator Dennis Cruz over in Indiana said, "I just kind of like the idea of personal freedom."
Hey, new concept.
Which
Let's try it out.
Here's a cool idea.
Yeah, so I agree, Dennis. But they're pointing out that most of these bills probably won't go anywhere. Employers, are protected basically by the law. Federal guidance issued in December allows employers to require that their workers get COVID-19 vaccines, although they must accommodate employees' religious objections, and they can't discriminate against employees with disabilities. So they could ask workers who refuse immunization to work remotely, wear protective gear. They could move their desk, away from everyone else, that sort of thing, which almost seems retaliatory sometimes. So, yeah, there was a lot of opposition to it in Indiana, and it didn't even get out of committee. Similar bill in North Dakota has already failed. Most of the other bills have yet to receive serious consideration. But the interesting thing is that towards the end of this article, they admit, this was interesting, the Kaiser Family Foundation released a survey that they did back in January, so just last month. 53% of respondents said they will definitely not get the vaccine.
Nice.
So over half of Americans, ostensibly, if this survey is to be believed, plan on, they don't want it.
I'm going to go on record right now and say self-identify as a vaccinated individual.
That's right. That's right. Nearly 1 in 10 Republicans said they'd only get vaccinated if required to. And 25% said they would definitely not get the COVID-19 vaccine.
And, I'm not afraid of the vaccine itself. Right? It's not that I don't think it might work. It's that it came out too fast.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of information, and it's kind of foggy as to what it actually is and does.
Well,
I know that we have the, what it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to work and all this, but there's been conflicting stories, even from the manufacturers on what it actually does and is, and then Bill Gates is involved, and then, the military is involved in distributing it, and it's like, okay, just hold on a second here. Not quite sure what's going on. I'm going to take a back seat, let the train, make a few laps before a few round trips.
Any drug, vaccine or otherwise, that's rushed to market, I don't want it.
Well,
according to what I've read, it's not actually a vaccine.
Right.
And they keep calling
it's actually,
it that.
It's more like the annual flu shot.
Well, and that's what they're calling
heard.
for now is that, now they're talking about an annual COVID shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that just proves that it's just like the flu. It's the same thing.
It is.
COVID has been around forever. Yeah. It's just this year they decided to make a big deal of it. Like this year they tried to make a big deal of, police shootings.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about the election. It's about this power structure thing. You mark my words. This show and John Anthony's show, probably Sean's show, eventually are going to get canceled. The pressure is going to be on. It's historical revisionism. They're doing away with all our history.
Sure.
They're doing away with First Amendment, and they're really digging in for the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
They're canceling out everything that's made this country stand apart from every other country in the world because they don't like that. They don't like us being in charge. And what's going to happen? When I said that somebody floated a thing about if you disagree with the government, that was just sort of floated. I guarantee you they're talking about this.
It's floated about by more than one person now.
And the day is coming that the station like AM560 is not going to be legal. Because it goes against the government.
Especially if people who think the way we think don't get off their couches, get out from in front of their computers, get out and hit the streets and not only vote themselves, but get every friend, every family member to vote the way that we vote. Yeah, otherwise,
and then we'll only lose by a landslide.
Our way of life will go away if we don't fight for it.
And let's face it, we've heard this almost every election that okay, you got to get out, you got to do this, things are coming down. It's this is going to be illegal, this is going to be illegal, but they keep taking more steps to actually make that happen.
Yep,
they're banning the books. They're doing everything they need to do. They're hacking away at the Second Amendment, and the time is going to come where it's like it's the put a frog in a pot of boiling water analogy.
Exactly.
You plop it into a pot of boiling water, it's going to jump right out. But you turn that heat up slowly, it'll sit in there and boil to death. And that's what's happening right now.
Just go read about how the Nazi movement started. Just read about how it started.
Well, people don't believe that happened anymore.
Well, there's about 6 million people that would testify if they were alive.
Exactly.
So the interesting thing is they do acknowledge that it's not only conservatives who don't want the vaccine.
That's
true. A Maryland state delegate named Nick Charles has sponsored a bill that would prohibit employers from firing workers who refuse to be vaccinated. And, he's black, and he acknowledges that a lot of people in the black community don't want it.
We're going to have to take a break. We got a couple action items. When we come back, we'll kind of wrap up the show. If we got anything big, it'll be our last ha-ha to do it. So all that and more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
Hi, it's Steve Cortez. By now, you've all heard me talk about MyPillow and how it's changed the way I sleep. You've probably seen the stories that some big box retailers are caving under pressure from progressives to take MyPillow products off their shelves. Well, for a limited time, Mike is offering his premium MyPillows. Yes, the ones that started it all for his lowest price ever. You can get a queen size premium MyPillow, regularly $69.98, now for only $29.98. That's a $40 savings. Folks, now is the time to buy. You can show your support for this great American company by ordering from MyPillow today. Don't let cancel culture win. $29.98 for a queen-size premium MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener square. You'll also find deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, MyPillow mattress toppers, and MyPillow towel sets. Or call 800-489-0201 and use the promo code STEVE.
MyPillow.com. Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
It was definitely an answer to a prayer and a desire that I had for a long time to take in more fruits and vegetables because I knew it would make me healthier. So I'm grateful for it. I got my mom's almost 90. She's been on it now for several years. I swear she's going to end up taking care of me someday. She will tell anyone who will listen to her about the change it made in her life. She genuinely believes Balance of Nature saved her life because 8 years ago, her health was not good at all. She started making some changes and added on Balance of Nature several years back, and it's just been amazing to see the change in her.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
Safer USA is now offering classes in Geneva and Waterman. Saturday, March 13th, Illinois Concealed Carry Renewal Class taught by David. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on register.
Well, that was quick. As I race back for my folder, hi, we're back.
Hey,
I didn't get a chance to say in that last article about the mandatory vaccine, the SEIU, the big employee union, service workers union, says that employers should not require vaccinations, and this woman who does employment law in Chicago says, I have to be honest with you, many employers think they're going to get a much better participation rate if it's voluntary.
Yeah.
So didn't get a chance to say that. Wanted to say that.
Well, and it leads me to ask that question. We bantered about a little bit at the last break before this one. What's in it? Why is it such a big deal? This is something that is over 98%, I guess, survivability rate.
Yep.
Flu is worse than that. Common cold is worse than that. what's in this thing that they want everybody in the entire country to get it?
I mean, I'll say, if you're so afraid that you're going to get it and die from it, and they want people to get vaccinated anyway, then get the vaccine and live your life, and don't worry about those of us that aren't. You know, we might get it, we might die from it, you don't have to worry about us then.
Right. It makes me think that they've put, I don't, Skynet and this whole thing. You got me going now on this stuff. There's something in here that they can start tracking where you are, which sounds preposterous, but look at we're doing stuff every day that 20 years ago we thought sounded preposterous. So I'm not so sure that it's that preposterous.
I saw a thing that said, "You say me not wearing a mask is killing you. My question is, how long is it going to take?"
Check, please.
Come on, it wasn't that bad.
George likes that.
It wasn't that bad.
75%. Okay, so
well, and you think about projects like MK Ultra and things like that. It's like, the government's done stuff before, so why should I believe them now?
Like if you would have told me 20 years, people would be eating laundry detergent
or snorting.
Well, yeah.
My favorite was it a handkerchief that they pull through their nostril?
Condoms.
Oh, yeah. That's
Snorting
what it was.
condoms.
It was condoms. Sticking it in their nose and pulling it through their nostril into their mouth.
Yeah.
Because that's just
you got to ask
something
yourself.
That you gotta
we
do.
need to start a challenge like that with debt cord.
Well, you got to ask yourself, who was the individual one day that went, "Oh, I got a killer idea. Let's go and get a 6-pack
Someone
of
who
condoms."
was about to film someone else trying it.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was kids sitting around with too much time on their hands, and everybody's got a video camera in their
And they were
pocket.
kids that had no use for the condom at all. There was never going to be an opportunity.
There
for them to
probably
use
wasn't
it.
going to be any in the foreseeable future.
So
Well, let's hope that section of the gene pool.
What else can we do with this thing? We can drag it through our nose. Yeah, But really, I mean, seriously, we laugh about it.
Well, I guess if it's not lubricated and you have to get some lubricant on it, maybe I don't know.
I would hope it would be. Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I get
really,
a little.
why would you ever buy a not lubricated condom? That's what I want to know.
So we'll be back next week,
or not, maybe,
with more news and. When I tell people that the format of the show is like your next door neighbors talking over the coffee table, I never really think of it in terms of demented next door neighbors talking over a coffee table.
These are the next door neighbors that you just want to you look at and you kind of close your door when they walk by. And
No, it's the next door neighbors that you've known for a long time, and you invite them over for beers.
Those are cool
It's
too.
the woman who says periodically I go out and vacuum my driveway so my neighbors won't talk to me. We're out. Go ahead.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geometrics' secure online